This is our third. Okay.
Start over.
All right. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Hello. This is our third Bible lesson that we've been taking and trying to get on the Facebook. Third Sunday, trying to have them on Monday morning. I'm going to be ready next week. I would like to start on the first two chapters in Genesis. I think this is probably the very most controversial chapters in the Bible. You wonder why the first two chapters. Well, not the first verse. Most people would agree with the first verse, which says, "In the beginning, God created heavens and earth." Most people in America, anyway, believe that there was a creator and that God was the creator. However, as soon as you go from that verse to the next verses, a huge disagreement comes along, and that disagreement is even in the church. And I want to talk a little bit about that disagreement. If we're going to believe the Bible, and we're going to believe that first verse, we need to believe all the verses. The Bible's pretty specific that it was a 24-hour day, and it was 6 days that God created the earth. Now, even in the church world, this is a huge disagreement. Even in the church scientific world, there's some disagreement on this. I want to touch a little bit. I'm going to read you this verse, and you may say, well, what in the world are you reading that verse when we're talking about creation? But we'll get to that in a minute. I'm in John 8, and I'm going to read the 44th verse. "You are of your father the devil, and you want to do the desires of your father. He was a murderer from the beginning, and does not stand in truth, because there is no truth in him." Well, saying we're talking about Satan, and he says from the very beginning, there was no truth in him. The Bible tells us over and over that it is truth, and when we compare it to other books, we find out, yes, it is other religious books or other kinds of religious material, we find over and over that it is a truth, and it will agree with real science. It doesn't always agree with pseudoscience or with the theories that are out there, but it always agrees with true factual science. Let me try to get back to the middle of the verse where I was. I'm just going to start over because I get all mixed up. "You are of your father the devil, and you want to do the desires of your father. He was a murderer from the beginning and does not stand in the truth, because there is no truth in him. Whenever he speaks a lie, he speaks from his own nature, for he is a liar and the father of lies." This tells us that Satan is the father of every lie that comes along, and he loves good lies. He loves good lies to use against you, to use against me, and to use against society. And one of the best lies that Satan has ever come along to make the Bible seem unbelievable to people is the lie of evolution. And because we have such a short time, I can't get into lots of creation and lots of different things that I would like to if we were going to spend an hour or so every week. But this is here to be a short study that you can listen to in the morning. That's why we don't pray on here either. I expect you to be praying for me, and I will be praying for you. But I want to read the original title of Darwin's book, and listen to what this says. We only get the first half of it most of the time. You really have to look hard to even find the first book written to look at the whole title. And the whole title is on the origins. Oh, I can't even talk. On the origins of species by means of natural selection. On the present. Well, part of the reason is my writing. I've got it written in here. Preservation of favored races in the struggle of life. And that last part is the part that you don't find, because it talks about the preservations of what? Favored races in the struggle of life. Actually, Darwin's book was very, very racist. And there were some people in history that loved his book, and one of them was Margaret Sanger. And if you do a study on Margaret Sanger, you will find out she's not the saint people make her out to be. She was in case you don't know, she was the woman who started Planned Parenthood. And once again, I don't have time to give you a whole spill on her. You can look her up and read about her. but she felt that she needed to get rid of unfavored races. She was very much a racist and a eugenist, which eugenics means, to clean out the races, to clean out people and have a super race. The other person that you will recognize his name, I'm getting short of time, and you'll understand who I'm talking about, is Hitler. And with that, I would like you to read the first 2 chapters of Genesis, and we will talk about that next week. With that, I'm going to sign off with God be with you till we meet again. Thank you.